I've been implementing a technology education syllabus that has been very successful. Some of the projects we're doing, they're all hands-on, but I'm looking for more out of my students. I'm looking for them to show reasoning and understanding about what we're doing. Because we've got so much fill up.
And we were tossing around ideas to see what we wanted to build, and everyone went for the planter box.
We all had to think of designs, and then we started brainstorming, and eventually we settled on an idea.
Every time we went to the wood shop, we'd have to do something new, and so like cut new pieces of wood and put them together and keep building.
You always hold a saw in a pistol grip and go like down the hill, on the flat, up the hill, and then it made a perfect cut every time. And we also learned how to use a power drill.
I used to never pre-drill holes, but after pre-drilling some in that wood shop, I realized it was quite nice to do it.
There was a big group separated into two parts. So one group was making one half of the box, one group was making the other half of the box. And then at the end, we put them all together.
I give a student a problem and they need to solve it with a design first and come up with an outcome that has investigated all possible solutions, identified the best solution, and then made a decision on what's available and then created that project.
I was interested in how the boxes were going to fit together.
They interlock, so when we were done, we put screws in, not very deep, and we flipped the box over and we drilled holes in it so we could interlock the boxes together. So it went 2 boxes on the ground and 1 in the middle.
The current project that the 7s and 8s are working on is to make an individualised box.
With a pivot point where the lid pops up and it turns.
It's kind of like you don't know if it's a box until you really look and you really see how it opens. I really enjoyed working on the design of it.
We had to do 3 different ones we wanted that were possible, and then we would pick one and revise it and make it the one we wanted to choose. Yeah, I was gonna put it at the top, the opening would be at the top, but then it would kind of be obvious because the branches didn't go all the way to the end, but the lower branches go all the way to the side of the box, and so I did it at the bottom, and it works better.
This year, we have gotten designated as a school to be able to offer first-year carpentry, which is actually Canada Red Seal ticket approved course. So students are able to get their first-year technical training done right in school. In addition to that, we do have the regular woodshop course.
It's carpentry and joinery, the class, so you have to be able to join things and obviously fabricate stuff. So there's certain things that we had to do, like a dovetail jig, but we all get our own kind of project and he'll help us out individually with them. I come up with the designs myself, and then just from picking out the grains and wood, and Mr. B's taught me a lot about working with the wood.
Any questions? So the other area that I'm in is metalworking, welding, machinist, pipe fitting, metal fabricating. I do many projects that are just skill building. So if I introduce a certain process, like in the metal shop, oxyacetylene welding or cutting, I have them prove to me that they are able to use it safely and properly. And if they can do that, I do a skill builder little project. And I really encourage them to design their own projects. Not all students have the same interests as to what they want to do. And I find it works really well because students are so keen on doing something they want to do. So
I pick things that I need, so like a truck bed I made, so a flat deck, and then I've made a drift trike, which is an adult version of a tricycle.
Right now I'm actually putting a muffler together, glass black flow-through muffler. The hands-on classes as metals, woods are the only classes that I really feel I'm doing something productive and I'm actually achieving something. In metals class alone, like you learn a lot that you can later on use in automotives, like building houses along with woods. It all kind of fits into each other, so that's why I think it's important. That's also why I like doing it.
I have a class of grades 10 to 12, a mixture of kids from this school and from Lucerne. I'm trying to combine a senior level mechanics with a junior level mechanics. We're putting together a drag car for the British Columbia Secondary School Motorsports Association drag racing circuit. We've got the car, we've rebuilt an engine, we have kids building all the parts to put it together.
I'm working alongside another teacher with a grade 11 math class, apprentice math, and I take them into the workshop and we come up with a problem that they need to solve that is hands-on but also engaging in a mathematical way.
You know, you want to make a corner for, say, like the corner of the table with 2 angle irons, and you want them to fit together nice, you do a 45-degree angle. The angles and the maths and, you know, it all kind of fits together. And when you just have just the math alone, it's just really abstract and hard to get a grasp on.
I struggle more with the book learning than anything else, and then come to class like this and I'll get straight A's.
I get distracted very easily and I kind of get restless and forget what I was supposed to do. So then working in the wood shop, you actually need someone there to like hold the board or tell you if the drill is right or wrong. So it's easier, so then I can actually stay in control.
I think it's better working like that because it's more hands-on and you get to do more stuff instead of sitting at a desk all day and writing and paper. It's way better to actually be working as a team and with your friends and getting more involved.
Kids walk in this shop and light up most of the time. And I don't really have to try hard to get them motivated to do things. They just can't wait.
Pretty much, this is the 2 classes I look forward to during school.
By grade 12, some of them actually are planning their careers in the industry.
Preferably I want to be a welder, but if I can't get into that, I'll be a metal fabricator.
The Ministry of Education, ITA, Industry Trades Authority, are encouraging all students, academic inclined ones as well, to get their hands-on skills because academic kids are needed. Many times some of these students, they go on and become a building inspector or an engineer, and those types of students make better professionals later because they've had hands-on.
I think hands-on learning has a lot of value within schools if it's delivered correctly. If there's no value to what you're actually doing, then students are just in your class working with their hands. They're not actually learning. So that's why we like to incorporate a strong design element into what we're doing to give the subject some substance. This class has worked on creating some stand-up paddle boards, and there's a lot of marking out and measuring to be done for certain components that are placed inside the frame of the board. And I've had students in here working on scale drawings of what we've just created and show some reasoning behind their decisions and put it into practice.
I think that's great that we get this opportunity to work on stuff with our own hands and our own minds and be creative, and it actually really helps with what we want to do in the future, because you know, you could be someone who is working with papers all the time, you could work at a desk all day, or you could just build sculptures or do graphic design or anything you really want. And having that opportunity to try it in high school gives you an idea of what you really like doing.
These courses are mandatory in grade 8, and that's kind of what opened me up to them. Before that, I had no kind of acknowledgement about welding. But after the grade 8 year, I've just been sticking with the metal shop and wood shop all the time.
It's not for all people, but generally I think it's a really important part of schooling. When you have something that you've fixed, that you've built, that you've modified, it's something that's, you know, gives you a sense of pride and achievement.